Hello my lovely friends, it's Danielle here. I hope that you are having a magical day. Today I'm so excited to share with you my recent trip to Walt Disney World. My husband and I were so thankful that we were able to go this year, and while we were in Florida, we also visited with some of my friends and family, and overall it was a really great trip. So for those of you who don't know, I've had some health issues over the years, and because of that, I haven't been able to fly recently. But my sweet husband Jeff was so wonderful, and he literally drove us from Minnesota to Florida and back for this trip. We drove through Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida to get there. It was definitely a long trip. It took us like 3 days to get there, but it was totally worth it. Once we got to Orlando, we checked into our hotel. We ended up staying at the Star Island Resort, which is in Kissimmee, Florida, which is about 15 minutes away from the Disney parks. We've enjoyed staying at Star Island before, and it was really nice to visit again. The rooms are very spacious, and they even provide you with amenities such as a full kitchen, a dishwasher, an oven, a microwave, and one of my favorite amenities in our room was the big jacuzzi tub that was so nice to relax in after our long road trip. And I think one of the biggest draws to Star Island is that it's a very family-friendly resort. The nightly room prices are pretty reasonable, and compared to other Disney resorts, it's way more affordable. They also have a nice pool area with plenty of activities on site, such as a tennis court, a golf driving range, a spa, a fitness center, live music, other places to eat and drink, and so much more. However, Jeff and I didn't spend that much time at the resort because we were literally at Walt Disney World for most of the time. But I would love to come back and visit their pool area again with the nice lounge chairs. That was one of my favorite places at Star Island. The first full day that we were there was a Sunday, and we ended up going to Mass at Mary, Queen of the Universe Shrine. I've been to this shrine before, and it was nice to visit again. It's actually pretty close to the Disney parks, and typically my husband and I attend the traditional Latin Mass, but it's hard to find in the Orlando area. So we just attended Mass here at the Mary Shrine, and they only provide Novus Ordo. So even though it was Novus Ordo, I actually still wore my veil, which I always wear my veil, even to Novus Ordo Masses, and it was still really nice to go. So later that evening, I met up with one of my best friends at Disney Springs. She actually lives in Florida, and her name is Katie Welch. Katie has an awesome TikTok account that you should totally check out if you are on TikTok. You can find her at KatieW1011 on TikTok and here on YouTube. So make sure to check out the description box below for links to her social media profiles. Katie has been a longtime friend of mine, and she was even a bridesmaid in my wedding. So when we were at Disney Springs, I saw her by the entrance, and then I snuck up behind her when she was taking a selfie and surprised her. This is the photo that we ended up taking together near the entrance by the fountain of Disney Springs. So from there, Katie and I went to Paddlefish for dinner, and I've actually been to Paddlefish before with another friend of mine named Fabiola Garza. Fabiola actually works for Disney as an artist, and I'll make sure to link her social media profiles in the description box down below, so make sure to check her out as well. I remember having such a great time with Fabiola before at Paddlefish, which is why I wanted to visit that restaurant again. Paddlefish is actually right on the water, and it has such a beautiful view. It's so unique because the restaurant is actually shaped like a big steamboat, and everything is nautical themed inside. So after we ate, we ended up walking around Disney Springs, which is basically like a giant outdoor mall. And if you haven't been there before, they actually have a Sephora there, and I was specifically looking at Disney Springs to go to the Sephora to see if they had one of the Rare Beauty lip oils that I've been really interested in getting. And if you don't know, Rare Beauty has a new line of lip oil products, and they've been selling out like wildfire because they're so popular, and now I can totally see why. So when I was there, I was really lucky to find the shade Hope, which is actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. And these lip oils are so pigmented and very long lasting, and it was actually what I wore throughout my Disney trip. So if you are interested in wearing a long lasting color on your Disney trip, I would definitely recommend these lip oils because it did the job for me. So after Katie and I went to Sephora, we went to the World of Disney, which is Disney Springs' biggest Disney store. And I love this store because it reminds me so much of the old Disney stores that we used to have in malls before COVID. I really miss those stores. But this one is like a lot bigger. This time at the World of Disney, there were special displays celebrating the 100 years of Disney, which was all decked out in a really cool purple and silver retro space theme. And there were also displays featuring the new Little Mermaid movie and Encanto. My friend Katie got a really cute Beauty and the Beast holographic journal, and while I wanted to get a Disney shirt, I decided to wait to see what other options were available at Magic Kingdom and EPCOT first. So at the time that we were visiting EPCOT, it was still during the Flower and Garden Festival, and this is one of my favorite times of year at Disney. I loved that right in the front entrance they had this beautiful topiary display featuring Disney's Encanto movie. Isabella was there, and she is one of my favorite characters from Encanto. And I loved seeing her beautiful floral dress. It was made of all real flowers, and I love seeing this because literally in the movie, her magical gift is creating flowers, and it was just so fitting for her. We also took some photos near the new EPCOT entrance, which features prismatic pillars that actually harken back to the original design of EPCOT's entrance before they had the legacy monoliths. I'm actually very happy with the new entrance of EPCOT. I never really liked the monoliths, and they just took up a lot of space in the front. And I really like how they have a lot more plants, trees, and flowers that just make it so much more inviting. So the first ride that my husband and I went on was the Seas with Nemo and Friends. And then after that, we walked over to the World Showcase in the France Pavilion to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This was a ride that I had actually never been on before, and I was excited to try it. So from what I understand, this ride is actually an exact replica of the one that is in Disneyland Paris. And because the audio of the ride is mostly in French, I'm pretty sure that they just took exactly the same audio that was from the Paris ride for this one. So the cute thing about this attraction is that you get into a little mouse cart, and then it feels like you're scurrying around a kitchen. It's actually really fun. It kind of has a 4D element to it, so make sure you're aware of that. You put on 3D glasses to go through the ride, and I personally don't really like 3D glasses. I don't like the animation popping out in front of me, but it's also a very full-on sensory immersion type experience. You feel heat and you smell food coming from the kitchen, and it just sort of stimulates all of your senses. So if you're a little overwhelmed by sensory experiences, just be aware of that, because it was something that I was maybe not as aware of as I think I should have been. So now that I know more of what to expect, I think I'll be a little bit better for next time, but it was just a little bit surprising to me. So later that day, we actually went to the China Pavilion, and because it was so hot, I actually got one of these cute Chinese pink parasols, and I'll show you how it opens up. And this was actually really great to keep me cool throughout the day walking around, because it gave me a little extra shade, and I really love it. It's so pretty. We also met Mulan while we were in China, and this was one of my childhood dreams come true, because I've actually never met Mulan before, and I loved meeting her in person. Mulan was so funny because when I introduced her to my husband Jeff, she had asked if I was matched. And then she also asked if I was clumsy when pouring tea like her. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. And then she was like, we're like the same person. It was so cool. And yeah, meeting Mulan was really fun, but she wasn't the only princess that we met that day. We also went over to the Norway Pavilion to visit Anna and Elsa. And I visited Anna and Elsa before, but this was actually a new experience because this time Elsa greeted us first before Anna. Usually we meet Anna first and then Elsa, but it was kind of nice that they mixed it up for a change. I loved meeting Elsa. She was so cute, and she actually complimented me on my shimmery skirt, which she said that I must have ice powers too with that magical look. And Anna showed me her engagement ring, and we were so excited talking about her upcoming wedding and that Elsa was going to be her maid of honor, of course. And I know that the meet and greets are kind of a little bit more for the kids, but when you're at Disney, everyone's a kid, and it's definitely one of my favorite things to do at the park is the meet and greets. So after meeting with Anna and Elsa, Jeff and I went on the Frozen Ever After ride, and this is one of my all-time favorite rides at EPCOT. It's definitely one that I would highly recommend, and it's worth the wait. I was a little conflicted when they changed it at first because I do remember when it was Maelstrom, and that was a nice ride. It was also another slow, dark ride, but now that they've changed it and I love this ride, I'm so thankful that they did because I like this ride a lot better. Next, we went on the Gran Fiesta tour starring the Three Caballeros at the Mexican Pavilion. And because it was such a short line, we pretty much just walked right on the ride, so that was nice. And I hadn't been on that ride in a very long time, and it was nice to see it again. We also rode on Spaceship Earth, which is the landmark of EPCOT, and I also got the chance to ride on Soarin' Around the World, and that is also another one of my favorite rides at EPCOT, which is all the way at the top with the Frozen Ever After ride. This one also has a sensory element to it as well, because when you're flying over different parts of the world in the ride, you'll smell the ocean or the grass, and they'll even blow air on you to make it feel like there's a breeze. But the good thing about this ride is that you don't have to wear 3D glasses. The other ride we went on was Living with the Land. Now, I actually hadn't been on this ride before, and this was like a little slow boat ride that took you through a tour around Epcot's greenhouse, and it was really cool because we got to see where they grow a lot of their vegetation and food for the park, and they also had like a little fish farm where they actually harvest fish for their coral reef restaurant to serve there and at other places around the park. So after that, we made our way to the Italian Pavilion, where we went to one of my favorite restaurants at Disney World called Tutto Italia. Now, if you are a pasta lover like me, this is the place at Epcot to get the best pasta of your life. I ordered the fettuccine alfredo there, and I've had the fettuccine alfredo there before, but this time it was incredible. It was even better than what I remembered it to be. And my husband Jeff ordered a chicken parmesan, and he also really enjoyed that too. And we just had a great time. It was such a wonderful meal. So after our delicious dinner in Italy, we walked over to the German Pavilion, and I found this beautiful red t-shirt with a Minnie Mouse pattern all over it and has Edelweiss flowers. I love this shirt so much. It's actually a little bit more red than what I typically wear. I usually wear more pink colors, but it's kind of nice to actually add this bright red to my wardrobe. It's definitely very Minnie Mouse. And I love that it has these like ruffled sleeves on the edge, and it even says Germany Pavilion at Epcot on the bottom. I can't wait to wear this shirt a little bit more. I've worn it a couple times already, but this is a great summer shirt and I'm so excited to wear it more. At the end of the night, it started to rain at Epcot, and we left before seeing any of the fireworks. And I'm not even sure if they actually had fireworks that night because of the rain. But I'm glad that we got out from Epcot before it started to pour really bad. And the next day when we were at Magic Kingdom, it actually was raining on and off quite a bit. So the next day we went to the Magic Kingdom, and because I was so tired from the day before at Epcot, we got there a little bit later than expected. But we still had plenty of time to do things, and one of the first rides we did at Magic Kingdom was the Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid ride. And this is actually one of my favorite rides at Disney World. I love Princess Ariel, and the last time we were at Magic Kingdom in 2022, we didn't get a chance to ride this one. So I was really excited to go on it again. This one is so cute. It's a slow-moving dark ride, and it takes you through the story of The Little Mermaid based on Disney's 1989 animated version. This one is definitely worth the wait, and I would highly recommend taking your kids to see it, especially if you love The Little Mermaid. After that ride, we got lunch at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, and I believe that this restaurant is the largest quick service restaurant within the Magic Kingdom. It is so popular and it's super hard to get a table. Ever since 2017, I've noticed that they've offered mobile ordering, and it's been a total game changer. It's been great because once Jeff and I found a table, we were able to place our order through the mobile app, and then I saved the seat while Jeff went over to get our order and then brought it back to our table. So this worked out great, and I would highly recommend doing that if you're with a group. Make sure you find your table, then place your order, and have somebody go and get your food and bring it back. because it is so hard to find a table, like I said. So after lunch, my husband and I went back over to Fantasyland to ride the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This is another slow, dark ride that takes you through the 100-acre wood in a honey pot. My husband and I really enjoy this cute ride, and like most rides at Disney, the exit takes you directly into a gift shop. Once we got off that ride, we went over to go see Princess Merida at the Fairy Tale Gardens. Now, I've seen Merida at this location in passing, but I had never actually visited her and done a meet and greet in person, and I was so excited to meet her for the first time. I was surprised to hear that right after our Disney trip, they pulled Merida from this location, and she has now been moved to Liberty Square. When I was just there recently, the Fairy Tale Garden theme was based on the Brave movie. However, they are now renovating the area to accommodate it for an Encanto theme because they're going to have Maribel do meet and greets there, which I'm actually really excited for. But I'm also really thankful that we were one of the last ones to meet Merida in this specially themed location based on her movie, with the courtyard adorned with tapestries, banners of her family crest, and her family tree, along with an archery target and other fun props, including her bow. So later that day, we met up with Cinderella and Snow White at the Princess Fairy Tale Hall. I've met some of the Disney princesses there before over the years, and more recently, they've usually been putting Cinderella and Elena of Avalor together, but this time I was surprised to see that Snow White was there instead with her, and it was so fun to meet Snow White too. I did get a glimpse of Mirabel and Raya on one of the parade floats. Now, I haven't seen them there available for meet and greets, but I know they have Raya available to meet at Disneyland, but it would be great to bring her to Disney World. And I'm guessing that she will probably make her debut maybe somewhere in Animal Kingdom. We were also really fortunate to meet up with some other fur characters, including Mickey Mouse at the Town Square Theater and Tigger and Eeyore at Winnie the Pooh's Thoughtful Spot. Later that evening, we went on the People Mover, and that's another great ride at the Magic Kingdom. It literally takes you on a tour around Tomorrowland, and it also goes through the ride Space Mountain. So after that, we went to dinner at Tony's in the town square, and that's a little Italian restaurant inspired by the Lady and the Tramp. Of course, you all know my love for Italian food, so we had to go there. And even though it was a great meal, I would still say the Italian restaurant at EPCOT was even better. After dinner, we went on a couple more rides at Adventureland, including Pirates of the Caribbean and the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It was really fun to do those rides, and we both really enjoyed them. There was one more ride that we really wanted to go on, which was Peter Pan's Flight. This is another one of my favorites, and it's always such a long wait. And we were gonna go on later that evening, but I ended up getting too tired and we actually had to leave before the fireworks began. But I actually am thankful for that because we got out there ahead of time and it was before the huge crowd started to leave. So I would definitely recommend, if you don't wanna get stuck in that crowd, leave a little bit early, leave before the fireworks show. You will be able to get out and get to your car way before the big crowd comes. But there was one more thing I have forgot to mention. So as we were leaving the park, I found this cute little t-shirt that I ended up getting from Disney's Emporium shop that's right in the front of the park. And I'll stand up so you can see it. It's so cute. It has the castle and Mickey and Minnie in a little teacup and Tinkerbell off to the side here. I love this shirt so much. I feel like it's just so me. It's so pink, purple, and blue, and those are my 3 favorite colors. And if you also wanted to know where I got my ears, I got these from Etsy from Mouse Fitters. I will have them linked below so you can check them out. And on our final day at Disney, which concluded our Disney trip, we did an evening at Disney Springs and we visited some other stores. There was this beautiful eye catchers cart that had like dazzling little wind charms that were so cute. And we also went to Basin and I grabbed this bath bomb. I'll show you really quick. Basin is like Disney's version of Bath and Body Works. So this one is pink, purple, and blue, and I got a couple of these. I I actually am giving one to my sister in a gift for her, so I can't wait for her to try this too. It smells so good. So I didn't get this at Disney Springs, but I saw this beautiful Walt Disney World 50th anniversary book at the World of Disney, and I actually already had it, but I wanted to mention it because you can still buy this there. It's also available on Amazon, and my friend Fabiola, who I mentioned earlier in this video, actually drew the cover art for this book. So I will have this linked down below, as well as many of the other things that I mentioned in this video. So make sure to check it out in the description box down below. So that wraps up today's video. I would just like to know, before you go, what are some of your favorite places to go to at Walt Disney World? And did I hit any of your favorite attractions? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps to support my channel. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the little bell so all of my other videos will come right to you. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to remind you of 3 very important things. Always have courage and be kind, like Cinderella says, but also remember to be a saint. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care and God bless. Bye.